This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Prime. In association with Micromax. Nothing like anything. This week, tune into our episode of Go Digital and learn how to set up an HDMI switcher that helps you connect multiple devices to your TV in the Tech Quest segment. Learn how to function water filters that have an extension pipe to collect the filtered water in the Ask ResQ segment. In our Top 5 segment, learn top 5 important tips to keep in mind while purchasing a Wi-Fi router. In the What Works For You segment, we tell you how to sync multiple accounts on both an Android and iPhone device. In the EC Hack segment, learn how to access multiple keyboards on your Android smartphone. In the Before You Buy segment, get all the dope on how to decide what headphones are best for the avid runner in you. In the Tip and Tricks segment, learn the smartest way to shoot underwater with your smartphone.
Hi, this is Shivam.
And this is Aarti.
And this is Go Digital. We are back with amazing DIY tips and solutions to your smallest technical problems to make your everyday lives easier.
So let's see what's troubling our customers today.
Hi,
Hi.
can we help you with something?
Sure. My name is Raghav and I'm actually trying to connect multiple devices to my television at home. Do you guys think you can help me out?
Of course. Shivam and his rescue team can come over to your place and set up a HDMI switcher that can connect various devices to your television.
That's great.
So why don't you give me your address and we'll see you at yours?
Sure.
Some monitors only have a few ports, and this limits the amount of devices you can hook up to it. In most cases, monitors have one VGA port and one HDMI port, but you may want to use a PlayStation, computer and/or laptop with it. This can easily be solved by using an HDMI splitter. After accessing the task at hand, the rescue experts have their gear ready. We should be on our way to Kailash Colony.
Hi. Hi, Shivam. How are you?
Good, good.
So, these are the devices which I want to connect to the television. And yeah, I just want a way to do it.
Alright, so you go ahead. I'm sure you know what to do. Alright.
First, take stock of how many extra devices you need to connect. Secondly, you'll need a verified HDMI splitter to connect with. A number of well-known brands manufacture these, and it's easy to find a variety to choose from. You'll require a few HDMI cables to make this work. You require one for connecting the HDMI switcher to your monitor and one more cable for each device you want to connect. Place the HDMI switcher in a spot where it is easily in reach of all of the components and the input you want to use, for example your TV or receiver, as well as a power outlet. Plug the power cable into the wall or a power strip if applicable. Run an HDMI cable from each device to one of the inputs on the HDMI switcher. To do this, simply plug one end into the appropriate port in the side or back of the device and the other into one of the ports on the switcher. Some switchers have the inputs pre-labeled with words like game console, DVD and CD. Try to match these up with your devices if you can. Run your HDMI cable from the switcher to the input on your TV receiver or other input device. Do not plug it into any of the component ports. There will be a separate port just for this purpose.
So, is it done? Yeah, it seems to be done. So, do you want to have a look?
Yeah, fantastic.
So, and be sure to
Turn on your input device and run through the input options until you get to the channel connected to the HDMI switcher. Use the remote that came with the switcher to switch between different content that you want to watch. You may also want to push the button on the switcher that is in front of the device.
Yeah, so this is your laptop connected on the screen, and then with that new controller you could
Check to make sure your audio and visuals are working properly.
My world is fire and blood.
If not, make sure your cable connections are tight and that you press the right button on the switcher.
So, we'll take your leave.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
That's fantastic.
I hope you solved Mr. Raghav's problem.
And it was an easy one.
And while you're away, I got a mail from Mr. Abhishek, who said that he has recently installed a water purifier system which has an extension pipe to collect filtered water. Now I wonder if that will affect the result.
I know a lot of people have been telling me that they face a similar problem with their water purifiers.
So what's the delay? Let's address this problem.
Water filters use two different techniques to remove dirt. Physical filtration means straining water to remove larger impurities. In other words, a physical filter is a glorified sieve. Maybe a piece of thin gauze or a very fine textile membrane. Another method of filtering, chemical filtration, involves passing water through an active material that removes impurities chemically as they pass through. The most common household water filters use what are known as activated carbon granules, sometimes called active carbon or AC. Based on charcoal that has a huge internal surface area, packed with nooks and crannies that attract and trap chemical impurities through a process called adsorption. The water collected via the extension pipe may not be considered as 100% purified. It enables bacteria growth in filtered water.
In today's day and age, it is impossible to imagine life without Wi-Fi.
Whether it's our phones being connected or having all the devices at home Wi-Fi enabled, it is now a necessity that makes life much easier.
And as we know, most of our activities and chores are moving online, which is why we've compiled a list of things that you should keep in mind while making a Wi-Fi router purchase.
If you're using Wi-Fi in your house, the odds are good that you just went with the free router that the ISP provided. It's convenient since you don't need to set up anything and it saves both time and money. And then the problems start. The network is slow or doesn't reach most parts of your house, and there's not much you can do about it. Most people avoid buying a router themselves because of the complications of the specifications and the effort it takes to understand them. The most common use of a Wi-Fi router is to share an internet connection between various devices, but that's not its only use. You can even use the router even without an active internet connection to connect your devices like smartphones, tablets, TVs, computers to each other for streaming videos, file transfers and more. In such a case, you'll obviously have no ISP and will need to invest in a router of your own. Wireless range depends on many factors: how many radios and antennas it has, what frequency it broadcasts on, interference. Wireless AC routers provide the best connectivity at the farthest range, followed by wireless N routers. Wireless speed. Wireless AC routers are 3 times faster than wireless N, and wireless N routers are 14 times faster than wireless G. If you use real-time applications like gaming or streaming video, wireless AC will offer a superior experience to N or G. Dual band connectivity. Single band routers operate on one wireless frequency only, the 2.5 GHz band. While it works well for surfing the internet, this frequency can get overly congested, making it unsuitable for high bandwidth apps like streaming video. Dual band routers transmit data over the 2.5 GHz band and the 5 GHz band, which is less prone to interference from other devices. Dual band means less interference and faster speeds. Backward compatibility. Always choose a router with a wireless standard which supports all previous wireless standards, because the device which you want to connect to wireless network might be supporting only old Wi-Fi standards. Beamforming technology. Wi-Fi signals broadcast using multiple antennas and multiple input, multiple output technology. MIMO allows for higher data transfer rate due to the transmission of multiple data symbols by simultaneously using multiple antenna. Beamforming technology is added, which provides additional performance and coverage to devices. Rather than emit Wi-Fi waves in a donut shape, routers with beamforming technology find and track devices on your network and aim Wi-Fi signals directly at them, providing a much stronger signal, especially beneficial for mobile devices.
In our next segment, we show you how to add multiple accounts to your Android mobile phone so that you can access them on the go.
When an Android phone is initially set up, it only asks for one Google account to associate with the phone. More accounts can be added along with the same syncing features that accompany the primary account. Access the settings menu on your phone and then add accounts and select the type of account. Provide the account information and sign in. Different account types may provide different settings after signing in. For instance, Gmail accounts will ask what other Google services you want to sync on the phone. You don't have to choose to sync any if you prefer to check each service manually and perhaps save a bit of battery life. Bear in mind that you'll need to check which account you're using because purchases and free downloads are tied to the account that acquires them. Coming up next on this episode of Go Digital. In the Easy Hack segment, learn how to set a multiple keyboard setup. In the Before You Buy segment, choose the right headphones to complement your running. In the Tips and Tricks segment, learn how to shoot underwater with these simple DIY tricks.
We've been doing a lot more tasks on smartphones these days.
Keeping that in mind, we show you how to access multiple keyboards on your Android smartphones in this next segment.
There's a whole world of keyboards out there, and your default Google, Samsung, HTC keyboard is nowhere near the most useful, most productive, or the prettiest. Android phones come with a couple of keyboard options pre-installed. You have the brand-specific keyboard installed as well as Swipe, the original speedy drag your finger across the screen to spell words keyboard. To enable additional keyboards, go to Settings, then Personal, and finally Language and Input. Under Keyboards and Input Methods, you'll see all the keyboards currently installed on your device. Head to Settings, then Language and Keyboard. And to enable a keyboard, check the box and it's installed. To set the default keyboard, tap Default and choose your desired input method. Some keyboards have additional settings which you can access by tapping the gear icon to the right of a keyboard's name. Settings vary by keyboard, and some keyboards allow you to input your own words, change the language, change the theme, and toggle autocorrect on and off. Once you have a keyboard enabled, you can use it whenever you're typing in a text box. Your default keyboard will always come up first. The option to switch between keyboards is on the keypad next to the spacebar. Click on the globe icon and it switches on to the Hindi keyboard.
While everybody is trying to make their lifestyles more active and healthy, we bring to you factors that you should keep in mind while choosing earphones for running or jogging.
Getting in shape has its own charm when you do it while listening to your favorite music on the right kind of headphones. Here are a few guidelines on how to help you pick the perfect pair of headphones for an active lifestyle. Consider the options of a wireless set of headphones. Wireless headphones work off Bluetooth that many smartphones have built in. The downside is that wireless headphones require batteries. If you prefer traditional corded headphones, opt for a pair with a strong reinforced cord. The amount of electricity it takes to power your wireless headphones is also important. The more energy required, the shorter the battery life. You won't be happy with a pair of headphones that drains your battery before you can complete your workout. So favor those with a low impedance or the measurement of electricity used. Aim for a pair of headphones that uses 24 ohms or less. The frequency range of human hearing is 20 Hz or 20 kHz, so there's no need for headphones that exceed this range. If you're a jazz or classical fan, opt for headphones rated strong in the mid-range and high-end. If you're a fan of pop, rap, dance or hip-hop, select a pair of headphones that are strong in the bass end of the spectrum. Don't ruin your hearing by overcranking your tunes. This can result in hearing loss. If you're in a very noisy environment and can safely block the noise out, try an in-ear model with a good seal against outside noise. People who use their iPhone or Android phone as their music source might also consider buying headphones that have inbuilt microphone and device-compatible controls. Also, it might be a good idea to invest in dust and shock-resistant earphones. It's worth investing in a pair of headphones that will tolerate the sweat of a good workout. And be sure they also fit securely on your head so they don't slip. There are also a handful of times when you can afford to block out all noise with relative safety, like at the gym. For these times, in-ear headphones are a good bet. However, for those activities during which you must absolutely remain cognizant of your surroundings, you'll want earbuds that permit some ambient noise to pass through.
Today we show you an easy tip which will help you to take beautiful pictures and videos underwater.
These are a few simple hacks to use your smartphone underwater. Take 2 Ziploc bags, one inside the other. Inflate them slightly by blowing into them. Seal them tightly, then gently push on them to make sure they seal correctly. Put your phone in the first one, suck out as much as possible. Seal it and then take the second, put the first bag inside the second bag, suck all the air out and seal it tightly. You can buy a camera housing which can be used for a phone. Search the web or a mobile accessory market for a good waterproof case or housing for your smartphone. Once you cover your phone with this housing, you can use it underwater to click photos or take videos. Do clean the camera lens and the housing before you put them together.
I hope this episode of Go Digital helped you deal with your everyday technical problems and updated you with the latest news of the tech industry.
Tune in next week for more tech news and views. This is Aarti.
And this is Shivam.
And you're watching Go Digital.